Bucketheads. Today, we go over every single one of those suckers, from vintage to modern. Plus, we get one of our own. All that coming up. Welcome back to the journey, and if you're new, we're collecting the entire Kenner Star Wars line, made from 1977 all the way to 1985. And yes, we started from scratch. So if you need to go back and binge watch all the past episodes, please do. And in this episode, we talk about the most underrated soldiers in the entire galaxy. So much so that there have been decades and decades of jokes just about those guys. And we're gonna go over every single one of them. Yeah, every single one ever made. And I think this is the most complete list of all time until more movies come out. But today, we're gonna go over the entire history of the troopers, how they came to be, the different classes of troopers, and finally, we're gonna get a vintage Buckethead of our own. So let's go. Now to start the show, we have to go all the way back to the initial idea behind the look of the Stormtrooper. And it can be all traced back to a Saturday morning serial called Commando Cody. And George Lucas was a huge fan of the show. When George was writing Star Wars, this was the first inspiration for the trooper. And the design came from Ralph McQuarrie, who designed this white trooper. Lucas wanted them to look menacing, skeleton looking, and even the helmet was designed to look like a skull. And when you see the troopers for the first time in A New Hope, you can tell that these troopers are meant to swarm and attack. Stark black and white, devoid of emotion and regret. The perfect soldier to be on the front lines of the Galactic Empire. And here's the vintage figure from the 1977 toy release, and a near mint version of this figure can be picked up for about $50. And from this design and costume concept, this will be the base for all the troopers that we're about to see. All right, so get ready, get your pen and paper out, get your list, because this is gonna go fast. The Sand Trooper. As first seen in A New Hope, they're desert troopers and can be spotted by their shoulder pauldrons and backpacks. There was no vintage figure made of this, but plenty of modern figures exist of this character. And you can pick this one up from Walmart.com for about 22 bucks. The Space Trooper. The Space Trooper was seen for a brief moment as the Millennium Falcon pulled into the Death Star for the first time. And this is the exact same as the regular Stormtrooper, but it has a breathing apparatus on their helmet and a backpack for working in space. And there's a Hot Toys version of the Space Trooper being sold on the market for about $300 to $350-ish. The Imperial TIE Fighter flew the twin ion engine spacecraft for the Empire, and has the same helmet structure as a Stormtrooper, but has breathing tubes coming from the helmet that go to a chest plate modulator, and instead of complete body armor, has a black pilot jumpsuit. And here's the Kenner 1980 figure, and average market price is about $35. AT-AT pilot, or AT-AT pilot. First seen in the Battle of Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back, they are derived from the Stormtrooper design, but have breathing tubes that come from the back of the helmet to the rear of the chest plate modulator. And here's the 1980 vintage figure that can be bought for $30 on average. Imperial Snow Trooper. This is one of my favorites and was first seen in the Battle of Hoth. They're meant to battle in cold conditions and have a different face shroud and a long trench-like fabric flaps. Very menacing looking though. Here is the 1980 vintage figure that you can get for an average about $90 for a near mint example. Emperor's Royal Guards. First seen in The Return of the Jedi, their armor pops with red against the stark muted color design of the Empire. And the color choice was a nod to George Lucas and his love for race cars. And the 1983 vintage version of these figures can be picked up for around $70 on the secondary market right now. Imperial Scout Trooper, or Biker Scout, meant for the forest terrain and have a flip-up helmet on their face shield. The design was meant to mimic that of the screen painting, just to make them more menacing. The 1983 vintage figure can be bought for prices of about $40 right now. Death Squad Commander, or Imperial Navy Trooper. Seen throughout the Death Star, their faces are actually seen. They perform various functions around the base, most notably Havoc Control. Here is the 1977 vintage Kenner figure that can be bought for around $35. Imperial Gunner. Just like the Imperial Navy Trooper, these Imperial Troopers worked on the Death Star and manned the cannons. And here's the 1984 action figure that is going for a staggering $350 for a loose complete figure. Swamp Troopers. Although they're never seen and only mentioned in Star Wars Rebels, that makes them canon, so we had to include them on this list. But they are described to look much like the Mud Troopers that are seen in Solo: A Star Wars Story. Which takes us to the Mud Troopers. These are another one of my favorite designs for the trooper and are a reference from the World War I soldiers who had to fight in muddy trenches during the early 1900s. Here's a Mud Trooper version of Han being sold on eBay for $25. The Jump Trooper. Before the First Order had Jet Troopers, the Empire had Jump Troopers, seen in Star Wars Rebels, Battlefront 1 and 2, and in Star Wars Commander. Here's a Hot Toys figure of the Jump Trooper currently being sold on Mercari for $332. Now we get into the Clone Troopers. The Phase 1 Troopers, first seen in the Attack of the Clones, they were all CG characters and no practical suits were made for humans to wear, and were a direct first connection to Boba Fett's design, especially with the T-face visor. They have different colors painted on their armor to denote rank. Red is Captain, yellow is a pilot or commander, green for sergeant, and blue is a lieutenant. Here's a Phase 1 Clone Trooper being sold on Amazon for around $45. Phase 2 Troopers are seen in the Revenge of the Sith and have many different classes depending on the job they have. And they're named characters, a first for any trooper. Take Commander Cody, who gets his name from the already mentioned Commando Cody from the Saturday morning serial TV show that George Lucas loved as a kid. The Clone Trooper Pilot gets his design base from the original TIE Pilot, and here's a figure version of him that's being sold on eBay for $15. Biker Advanced Recon Trooper. Looks like a regular Clone Trooper design, but narrows the snout for an aggressive look. And even though Hasbro got the figure design wrong, you can still buy one for $28.99 on Amazon. ATRT Driver. Worked in the field operating the ATRT. And if you want to pick up the figure, here's one being sold on Amazon for the high price of $124.99. Elite Corps Clone Troopers. We're seen in the Battle of Kashyyyk in Revenge of the Sith. It's a blend of the clone and classic Scout Trooper with a camo print on the armor. And you can pick one up on Mercari for about $20. Galactic Marines. Seen in the Revenge of the Sith, they take the design from the snowtroopers from The Empire Strikes Back, and during Order 66 were responsible for most of the kills on the Jedi. You can pick this one up on Amazon for about $50. 501st Special Ops, were Anakin Skywalker's regiment and took orders directly from Anakin. And you can pick up this Gentle Giants Deluxe for $84.99 on eBay. Imperial Shock Troopers. Seen in the Revenge of the Sith, they were part of Palpatine's guards, denoted by red. And you can find this one on Mercari for $42. Atapow Airborne Clone Troopers. Seen in the Revenge of the Sith, the helmet on this one is starting to look like Vader's helmet a bit. You can get your own for $39 on eBay. The 327th Star Corps. Denoted by yellow in their uniforms, they are the first regiment to wear skirts on their armor. You can pick this one up at Walmart for the high price of $79.99. Commando Troopers. These troopers were special trained by Mandalorian drill sergeants, and the most famous of these are the Bad Batch. And here's Wrecker on sale at Best Buy for $29.99. ARC Troopers, or Advanced Recon Commandos. Captain Rex was the most famous of these and served with Ahsoka. You can pick up a Hot Toys version of Rex for about $250. ARF Troopers, or Advanced Recon Force. Most of these units went with Jedi on very secret and dangerous missions that very few knew about. Their designs are a take on the Biker Scouts, and this one is being sold on eBay for $60. Stealth or Special Ops Trooper. Similar to the ARF Troopers, the Stealth Troopers worked on missions that only the Chancellor knew about. Sneaky, sneaky. They also had a bell-shaped helmet. You can find this Toys R Us exclusive for about $90 on most sites. Coruscant Clone Trooper are denoted by their gray markings on the suit and are the police agents found on Coruscant. They are part of the 41st Elite Troops. And here's a sideshow version of this character on eBay for $350. Bomb Squad Trooper. This division was made to defuse and dispose of bombs. I found a figure of this one being sold online for $150. Storm Commando Trooper. They've only been lightly mentioned in canon and are part of Darth Vader's 501st Division. They are basically black versions of the Scout Trooper. I found this out-of-stock item on sale at Walmart for $54.39, and this one is hard to find at a low price. First Order Stormtrooper. The technology, both in costume design and ease for the actor to move in this piece, are both noticeable updates, and was the first costume in Star Wars to be 3D printed. Here's the Trooper on sale at Amazon for $28. Captain Phasma is in a class all her own. Originally created to be Kylo Ren's armor, J.J. Abrams liked the design so much, he created a whole character around the armor. He was also a fan of the movie Phantasm, which featured a chrome ball, and boom, Captain Phasma was born. Here's her figure that you can buy on eBay for $12. First Order Flame Trooper, as seen in The Force Awakens, and are differentiated by their fuel packs, flamethrower, and narrow helmet visor. You can get this one at Walmart.com for $19.95. Riot Control Stormtrooper. Seen in The Force Awakens, they have a shock baton and riot shields. This Hot Toys version is being sold on eBay for $145. Mega Blaster Heavy Trooper, seen in The Force Awakens and noticeable by the heavy armament and chest plate. You can find the Hot Toys version for this for about $260 online. First Order Snow Trooper, seen in The Force Awakens and are one of the coolest designed troopers in my opinion. They almost look like a take on Cobra Commander. And you can pick one up at Walmart.com for $23.45. First Order TIE Pilot. Seen in The Force Awakens, it's now a sleeker design of the original TIE Fighter and is one of my favorites in the modern series of characters and figures. This can be found on eBay for around $20. Imperial Assault Tank Pilot, seen in Rogue One, is a blend of the Biker Scout armor and the original Clone Trooper. I found this one on eBay for the high price of $89.99. Imperial Death Troopers, seen in Rogue One, they are special ops troopers, much like a Navy SEAL team. Sleek in design, they are my all-time favorite trooper design. You can find this retro design Death Trooper at Best Buy for $10.99. Imperial Shore Troopers. As seen in the Battle of Scarif in Rogue One, these are much like the Biker Scout in the helmet with light classic Stormtrooper armor. And these are sadly my least favorite Stormtrooper design. You can find most figures online for about $20. Shadow Trooper. We're elite and highly trained stormtroopers that serve the Galactic Empire. They wear black suits of experimental armor coupled with portable cloaking devices. Their first appearance was in Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Here's one on sale at Amazon for $44.95. Clone Shadow Stormtrooper. Using mag seals installed in their armor, Shadow Troopers could attach plates to themselves that could pass off as mercenaries belonging to certain factions. And here's a carded figure selling for about $30 on Macari. Executioner Troopers. Seen in The Last Jedi, they are denoted by the black stripe on their helmet and shoulder pads, and of course their laser axes. You can find one at Walmart.com for just under $40. EVO Trooper. Making their appearance in The Force Unleashed, they're meant to fight in environments with unsuitable atmospheres and were nicknamed the Alien Killers. Here's one on sale on eBay for $14.95. Elite Praetorian Guards. The first time we see them is in The Last Jedi and are meant to be Snoke's guards and evoke design inspiration from the Emperor's Royal Guard from Return of the Jedi with the mix of samurai design. They're selling online for an average of $30. Mimban Stormtroopers. Seen in Solo, much like a classic Stormtrooper, the only difference is their cape and an extra forehead lip on their helmets. I found this one being sold on Macari for $26. Imperial Patrol Troopers. Seen in Solo, this is basically a blend of the Biker Scout and the classic Stormtrooper and were simple police units. You can find most figures online for about $37. Imperial Range Troopers. Seen in Solo, these troopers are meant to fight in extreme cold, denoted by their fur-lined uniforms and also by their magnetic boots. I found most online being sold for $13. Jet Troopers. Seen in The Rise of Skywalker, these troopers have First Order Flame Trooper design, but have a jetpack. I found this one on eBay recently sold for $24.99. Tread Speeder Troopers. We see these paired with the Jet Trooper in Rise of Skywalker and are basically a First Order Stormtrooper. I found one on Macari for $20. Electropod Troopers. Seen in The Rise of Skywalker, these are basic First Order Troopers paired with the Electropod. As of right now, I could not find an Electropod Trooper made as a figure, but the Purge Trooper, seen in Jedi Fallen Order, is on sale for about $17. Sith Troopers. Much like a Death Trooper in form, and is an elite trooper in the First Order. I found this figure on Amazon for $38.99. Sith Jet Trooper. What's the difference with this one? Throw a jetpack on him and bigger mandibles on the helmet, and boom, you got yourself this trooper. I found this one on Macari for $30. And some non-canon troopers worth mentioning: radiation troopers, obviously worked in radiation environments and served under Thrawn's command. Cave troopers were subterranean soldiers. Magma troopers, trained to fight in lava environments such as Mustafar. Nova trooper, who were assigned to guard Naboo. Sea troopers, made for underwater fighting. Mine troopers, like cave troopers, were meant to guard mine operations in subterranean environments. Purge troopers, served under Vader and often accompanied the Inquisitors to hunt Jedi. That was a big list. So, knowing all that, we are on the hunt for some bucketheads of our own. So the quest for today, the rule of 2. But first, let's go into some info about the figures themselves. The Stormtrooper was released in the first wave of the original Kenner Star Wars toy release and was first seen on a 12-back card. He comes with the Imperial Blaster, and the correct one should be the blue-black blaster, unless you have the Lily Letty Stormtrooper, which has been known to be carded with the blue blaster. Now, the variants to this figure can almost be endless, with the 2 main variants being the hard torso variant, which has sharper mold designs on the torso and can be found on the Potch, PBPs, and Lily Letty versions, with the Hong Kong torso having the softer mold torso features. But you're gonna find even more variants in the face mold and the paint features. The Variant Villain website is the best place to go in depth about these and to understand the variants. And who knows, you may have a few of these variants in your own collection without even knowing about it. But today, we're gonna get 2 Stormtroopers, one for grading and one for our display case. So let's unbox the display version first. We got this from a seller on eBay, and to be honest, we got this one in a little bit of a hurry, and we could have waited for a better version of this figure. And a good thing to point out for these figures is that the color of the figure will fade to yellow as the years go by. And you can see that on this one as the arms are fading slower than the torso is. So if you want to get a near mint version of this figure, watch out for that feature. And now for the graded version. Orange Droid was having a claim sale on their Facebook page, and a claim sale is when a seller creates a post and lists items for sale with accompanying pictures. So it's up to the interested buyer to look at the photos, agree on the listed price, and make a claim in the comment thread. If it's an item that you're interested in, you gotta hurry and claim it. So it's a good idea to make sure your Facebook notifications are on for certain pages, especially if it's a group that you buy from often, to make sure that you see the posts as they happen. So we claimed this Stormy for $50. So we can mark off our display version of the Trooper for $43.10 that we got from eBay, and we can place this Buckethead inside our case. And our grade version that we got from Orange Droid for $50. And yep, we're gonna send that version off to get graded. So yeah, that was a pretty long episode, but an in-depth episode on every Stormtrooper ever created by Lucasfilm. But at least now, you have a guide onto every Buckethead in the Star Wars universe. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. It does help the channel. And also, if you need items for your collecting journey, there's links down there in the description. And if you click and buy from those links, it does help the channel, so thank you for that. And also, if you feel inclined, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can follow the journey. I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And as always, my friends, thank you, and I will see you next time. If you're new to the channel, check out the welcome video, or just check out the next episode. And please subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And remember, there is no shame in being a Padawan.